Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again. Welcome back to day 2 of the SBC Summit Barcelona 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, we are really looking forward to our first presentation this morning with Carsten Koerl, the founder and chief executive officer of Sportradar AG. This is all going to kick off in 5 minutes. If you're within earshot and you're not yet at the main stage, please make your way to the main stage. This very, very exciting start to the day will kick off in 5 minutes. Morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to day 2 of the SBC Summit Barcelona 2021. Welcome to everybody who's with us here in Barcelona. Welcome to everybody who's joining us digitally. And of course, just a gentle reminder that everything that we do today here on the main stage and the other stages will be streamed, but also you can access that afterwards if you want to see it again. I hope you had a great night last night, whether you're at one of the SBC dinners or the official networking party last night. I really hope you enjoyed yourself. You met, you mingled, and you made great connections. More on what's happening this evening a little bit later on. But before we get there, of course, we have another full day of panel discussions and presentations here at the SBC Summit Barcelona. Before I let you know what's coming up, I really encourage you to take the time to visit all the stands here and in between the discussions and presentations that will be taking place on all 5 of our stages. Presentations and panel discussions kick off on the stages in the innovation in sports betting, global iGaming, affiliate marketing and media, safer gambling. All of that happens at 11:40, and I will be giving you the information on that a little bit later on and during the course of the morning. And finally, I can assure you, you will not starve today. Make the most of the food, drink, and bars available throughout the day. Mix, mingle, and eat. And I can assure you, everything has been done to provide you with the best services with your health and safety in mind. Now, just with that, I will encourage you once again, of course, the only reason that we can do all of this and meet together is because we are COVID compliant. So I do ask you to please respect that and make sure that you work with us on that matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, again today we are kicking off the action on the main stage with a presentation on digital transformation, innovate or die, from our prestigious guest speaker, Carsten Koerl, the founder and chief executive officer of the globally renowned and outstandingly successful Sportradar AG. Since 2001, Carsten has driven the company's growth from a tech-focused startup to a global leader in delivering sports data. A huge thanks as well to Sportradar 2 for being our track sponsor on the main stage throughout this event. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carsten Koerl.
Wow. What an introduction. Outstanding. So thanks for the flowers. Look, for me, it's great to be back and to see all of you. A lot of friends, and this interaction was really missing for me. Welcome also from my side. I guess you all had a good evening. I heard already a lot of those things. And today I want to give you some presentation about technology, innovation. You might know that I had some exciting event in New York. The good thing for me was I learned a lot about how people from the digital industry are seeing our business, how they're looking on it. Some of the hints I think are quite useful also here for us. So if we have here the mega trends, it's 4 of them. And we should be all aware of this. There is an external thing happening. So we see the US marketplace opening up and accelerating. That means 1 billion in 2019, TAM, total addressable market size, is going to somehow 20 billion, 30 billion. Goldman is saying 40 billion. So that's nearly the size of the market which we have at the moment. That's an acceleration. It's driving innovation. It's driving competition. We will see a lot of things happening. And you heard about what is the industry doing. Probably there is some consolidation already going on in this market, but I can promise you the market will drive innovation, and it will have an impact on the worldwide industry. Another one is Asia, APAC. This is a sleeping giant, and very soon we will see that there is an acceleration in this market. India, 1.4 billion people. So if something is going to move, it will drive innovation and it will drive pressure on many of us, but it will give us also chances. The second thing is the trend with the digital sport fan. Just spoke with Russ about the digital events which they organized. And you need to learn from those digital events because much more people are there. You're getting data points, you understand what they're doing, and it's all about the customized user journey. So understanding the sport fan, understanding his behavior, going in the right moment of time with the right message on him is key. And a part of the sports fans are punters. So we are in the midst of this change, and we need to look forward. We need to understand this. Then the markets. There is an overlap in these markets, and there is a massive, massive disruption happening. Sports betting, media companies, broadcasters, they are all doing cross-selling. I was with the NBA last week. The commissioner told me about his plans for broadcasting, told me about what he wants to do in sports betting. So the leagues are moving into this space. We all know the Sky sample that a broadcaster is moving into the space of betting, and ESPN is luring around to look into this. So these are industries which are combining each other now. So that's a mega trend, creating huge opportunities for us, but also threats. So, and then the last one, technical innovation. This is the answer to all of those things. So we're gonna need to learn from it, and we're gonna need to create the right systems here. AI is a big buzzword. I'd like to show you later on what we are doing at the moment with AI, that you understand those kind of trends. So here are the three ones which we think are four ones which are transformational areas. One, artificial intelligence. Wow, this thing is clicking all the time, sorry. Machine learning, computer vision. Are you joking with me a little bit? Good. So let's try it once more. These are the four areas. Artificial intelligence, computer vision, tech, and tech for good. Things where we have to innovate and where we have to transform. If we are looking here to artificial intelligence, I had the pleasure to meet Andrew lately. He's one of the biggest brains in the tech industry. The guy is really, really, really clever. So what he said is that, that AI is very similar to what we saw with the creation of electricity. It was changing everything. It was changing our life. And this is what not I said, this is what I witnessed and what I see also in our industry. We should not underestimate the impact of it. And we all need to learn how to live with it and to use it for us. What we did at Sportradar is we have here three different business verticals. We have the leagues, we have the betting operators, and we call it media companies, which we call sports entertainment. Everything what we do in this space is we create a lot of data. With sport leagues, we have 8,000 scouts giving us information. We have operation centers to collect this. And we started 4 years ago to invest into computer vision. Later on, I will show you what it means. So extracting player information and going really deep into this. Everything is flowing here into the red pillar. And the red one is building the algorithms, the machine learning, and at the end, if we do it good, there comes AI that the machine learns itself and is optimizing the products, which are spin-off then to the betting operators, to the media companies, with all these insights what we get. And that's massive. So this kind of things, I know that everybody of you guys need to create something similar. So we need to learn how to live with more and more data. It's exponentially more data which we get every year. So we need to cope with this. We need to construct these engines. We invested in the last 3 years $105 million into building those things. Of course, it's complex. It has a lot of components, but this is where it goes about. And collecting all these data points and learning from it and getting it back in again and innovate and create new products, that's the mission. One of the new products which I wanted to show you, because we had the pressure during the pandemic time when everything was shut down, said, that looks not good. No live matches played for an operator who depends on live data, and you guys also depend on live betting. That was really bad. We created a product which we called simulated reality. We created this product in 11 days with 750 engineers working on one stack. And what it did is it simulated realistic match outcomes for matches which had been not played. So every match day, we simulated the matches realistically with realistic outcomes. So we feed in player parameters, the players are avatars, we give performance parameters, and then we run a simulation with different lineups, and we try to simulate a realistic match outcome. We did that with the stop of the EPL that was in, I think, match day number 24, and we simulated it to the end, and that was published in newspapers, and you see the result here was that the computer predicted the top 5 teams, not exactly in a row, and you might say it was an easy pick between Liverpool and City. Guardiola would say no, that was not an easy pick on match day number 24, but it gives you already a feeling how detailed that can be and how good AI and computer vision can work on this. Another one here is a little clip which I will show you in a minute. That is around the virtual in-play betting. You might say that is not really AI or something. You will see later on in the clip how difficult it is to produce this realistic player movements. So we are going into a green room. There are real basketball players getting sensors that we can clip this, and then we can render it. And of course, the simulation for the baseball games, they are realistic, like the simulations which I showed you before for the EPL. And maybe I run the clip that you see what is the technology behind this.
In the floor, I get hot. More than I drop is the more I get low. The music is lifting me up against soul. Show me your tune like a nod to. Hey, I'm breaking your back again. Rising above to the top again. Hitting it hard to the very end. I'm making your body move, yeah. I'm twisting the rules. For the fire and the fuel. When I'm packing a punch and it's knocking my track and I'm not to the back of that.
Yeah, looks simple when you see it, and when you see the production, we had the boys for 1 month in the studio to work on this, and then to getting it together into such an action, that's a massive usage of technology, and some people sometimes underestimate. This is an area which is going to the core of my heart. I'm here in this industry for more than 20 years. I'm feeling already pretty old. But when I started it as an operator, I learned in the beginning, hey, Carsten, you're going to need to simply copy your line into the middle of the market. You're always right. That's fairly easy. Create some tools, and you will make it. I created these tools. And the industry is still working very much on this, looking to where I am in the market. Do I get too much exposure? What is my pricing power? And how do I balance my line in between? This will stop pretty soon. That's my promise to all of you. And I had a lot of controversial debates with bookmakers. It's all about individual pricing. It's individual risk management, individual prices for the punters, and it is fed from 2 big things. One thing is, how do we learn and understand the sport better? Computer vision is really a key for this, to understand better what happens in the next minute, what happens at the end of the match, if you see some patterns which are repetitive. Second one is, how do you work with liquidity and with the client mix to get a better outcome? And that's all about the mathematics of big numbers. The one who has the most liquidity and who has on special betting types the most diversity of the users and understands his user will generate alpha, undoubtedly. That's from financial trading. And if you look now to our industry and comparing it with the financial industry, I think we are minimum 10 years behind. So that's where it stands. There is a huge area of disruption. Pricing power is a buzzword. And we do this managed trading services, which is doing exactly what I told you. So it's aggregating a lot of liquidity from several clients. It is looking to detailed statistics and data models, combining the both, and it will result into individual pricing. Not a pricing for only VIPs or some clustered groups. It will be an individual pricing on the user level in the future. That's where we need to innovate. We need to go into this direction. We all need to look that we are giving to the client what he wants. The client wants that you understand him. That's the same pattern. It's user behavior and creating then his experience. Well, computer vision, spoke a lot about this, needs a lot of GPU power, needs a lot of storage capacity. And what it is here in the picture you see tennis. We started with tennis 4 years ago, and it took us much longer than we thought to understand the match with computer vision. Now we get for tennis X, Y, Z coordinates from every object on the pitch. That's the ball, that's usually the two players, and sometimes also the referee. And what we get here is much deeper data insights. We see when a player is hitting the ball in the sweet spot, consistently in the sweet spot. We see was the arm in front of the body same high or behind of the body. And you would be amazed to see how much you can predict with only those parameters what is the outcome of the next point, what is the outcome of the set, and what is the outcome of the match. If we run this then with 20,000 videos, which we have in storage, and saying, let's look for this pattern over all these things, and let's see what was the realistic outcome of a match, that gives us a better understanding about the sport like we have it now. Of course, this can be transformed to the sport. We have video coaching applications, we have sport analytic applications which we give to the sport, but it is of course a great insight for sports betting going into this direction of pricing power. So the computer enables us to understand the sport better and to do our business better. It's very important for the innovation, and this is something undoubtedly computer vision will be the future of the sport data going deeper into this. Can be also sensoric data, so if you have access to sensor chips of the players in the shoes or in the jerseys, that's also very helpful, gives you the same insights. It's the same algorithms then to process it. The difficulty is to understand and interpret it, and then to develop the products out of it. Here is an example from college basketball in the US. So that is a system, an automated video production. What it is doing is, it is giving the coaches a video coaching application. So the coaches can use this to train the players better. Of course, with this, we understand also player behavior, which we can transform again into sports entertainment products or into betting products. All of this is using technology. It's the same kind of algorithms which you apply here to identify the players on the jersey, on the shape, on the size, and then to get 25 times a second the tracking information. Looking now in technology, I have an interesting story for you. When I was in New York last week, our CTO called, no, he didn't call me, he clapped on my shoulder. It was short before we started the main event on NASDAQ, and said to me, Carsten, we are subject to a massive DDoS attack. And that happens to everybody. In our industry, it's a real pain. It took us 4 minutes to mitigate this attack, and it was massive. It came from China. Probably there was another origin around this, but it was only possible because we have 3 available zones. We are in 2 clouds, and we could use immediately a ramp up of 40 times of our bandwidth and capacity to somehow filter and then install the protection. So I think that's for all of us needed. We need to be resilient to those things. We need to invest. We need to understand that's a global industry here. And the good thing with it is, of course, we can improve our service quality. We have much lower latency now to every destination of our clients. Our clients sitting in 120 countries of the world, so it's a must for us to deliver this, to have the service quality, and it comes with the security achievements. And I think it's absolutely necessary for everybody of us. So we're going to need to be protected, and we're going to need to scale. We have a global business, and it's our obligation to be on this level, to provide this kind of service to our clients, but it's the usage of tech. And we are all forced into doing this. Not investing is not an answer. So that will collapse the business sooner or later, and I think that should be clear to all of us. This is a super important, and that's the fourth pillar. That's what can we do on good things with technology. What we started 16 years ago when we detected a kind of match-fixing scandal in the German Bundesliga is we started a fraud detection system. Now we have more than 100 leagues, but we're using the fraud detection system very actively. We sell this for no price, so that's free, and that's the contribution to this industry and to this market. And believe me, for the sport leagues, it's super important. Many of the leagues I'm talking to still have a problem with sports betting, and the touching point they're saying, okay, sports betting is only using us, but we get no kickback. And we see that there are a lot of debates around this. But it's much more important to help the leagues and to help the sports to fight match fixing, because it simply comes with it. So there are always a few people which are trying to use it to their advantage. What we do here with the fraud detection system, we monitor currently 60 sports. We collect 21 billion pieces of data every year, and then we analyze, this is the odds changes, then we analyze this behavior for patterns with AI, and when we see that there's a pattern which is different to our models, we are beginning to check this. It's very efficient. We are the only provider worldwide who is used as a witness statement on the on the International Court of Justice, the CAS, for sport rights. So they use our evidence here and our system for it. And the latest one, which I can share with you, is a case in Austria where we had in the Austrian basketball division in Graz 5 players which got arrested because we detected in 10 matches such patterns. So this case is still ongoing. If you ask me, there is a very, very solid proof that there had been manipulations by these 5 players detected here by the system. And again, this was free of charge. Everything what we do here in this space is a commitment to sport, commitment to the industry. We call it tech for good. There are many other samples, but it's essential. And everybody of us needs to contribute into this. There are areas where we need not to look only commercial. There are areas where we need to look that we are supporting an underlying growth of the industry. For us, that's one of those areas. And it's a massive usage of AI. Otherwise, that would be not possible. Well, and the final thing after the short keynote speech is really, what is my learning in the last years? And I had some good learnings now during the pandemic time, because that was really an acceleration and transformation for our business. I can say the most important one for me is I'm going to need to stay curious. So if you stay curious, if you want to learn, if you want to analyze, and if you want to understand your weaknesses or areas where you can improve, you must be curious. If you are not curious, you are stagnating. The one who is having a stagnation in a time where we have an exponential growth of everything is falling exponentially behind. That was not my say, that was a well-known professor. And I think that's true. Everything in our world is growing exponentially. CPU capacity, storage capacity, the global markets, everything there. So if we do not manage to grow exponentially, and if we only grow linear, we are falling exponentially behind to our competitors. And stay curious is the most important one for this. Second thing, and I hope I explained this to you, the market has changed totally upside down. So we have now a digital sport fan. And the digital sport fan is expecting from us that we understand him. We need to know when can we send him the right message, what kind of product can we customize for him. Customized user journey is a very important buzzword, and that goes probably in the future. In some of your countries or markets or in retail, you might think it's not necessary. Don't fall into this pit. Don't fall into this trap. So it is absolutely necessary to understand the client and to customize the product for the client. That is a key driver, and that's an area of transformation. And one learning was, which I got from a gentleman who played basketball fairly well. His name is Michael Jordan. I met him last week. Michael is with us, an investor since 7 years. He's a great guy. He is a legend. And what I admire most on him is his spirit of being competitive. We all love sport. Everybody of us somehow is involved in sport. And what we should learn from our sport is you're only successful if you're being maximum competitive. Michael is the most competitive person I ever met in my life. With him, you can do a lot. Sometimes I'm golfing with him. He's a great golfer, but he's super competitive. And he always wants to win in whatever he is doing. And I think that made him the man he is. So the guy has such a passion about winning this and making no sacrifices to get it on a fair level. That is, I think, what we all should learn from sport. So, and we can learn it from the best of the sport, and you will see the same pattern. The most successful ones are the ones which had that spirit of being competitive. That is one of my learning in this industry. So we all need to see, let's stay competitive. Let's copy from sport. Let's copy from the best in the sport, how they did it. Then we will be innovative companies. We will have a long track record, and we should be more the chess players. So if we are looking to the development, see the development on a 3, 4, 5, 10-year scale. I know 10 years is difficult, and whenever somebody is asking me about, Carsten, give me 10 years numbers, I think you're crazy. So that's looking like in the crystal ball. But the chess player is making his moves, and the chess player is seeing a worldwide market and seeing patterns and development. The markets are getting together. Media market, the leagues, the betting market, the entertainment market, all this is getting together. You should see this. And it's important to use the opportunities. And to come back to what I said on the beginning, transform or die, I see this as an opportunity, not as a threat. And that's how we need to tackle it as an industry. By the way, I think that we need to get more aligned on this. So we need to have more of those forums here to discuss and to exchange, to give these opinions, to create a kind of industry which is sticking together with a clear focus on technology, alignment, and global markets. I think we have so much power, and we should have more events like here in Barcelona that we can get together. So, yes, and at the end, we need to safeguard sports. That's important for sports betting. Without safeguarding it, it's not going to work. That's my end of the keynote, and I'm happy to take some questions if you'd like to give me some questions.
First of all, can we please, a round of applause for Carsten? Thank you so much. Thank you for kicking things off this morning. Carsten has very kindly agreed to take questions from the floor. There are some topics we're not going to be able to talk about, but are there any questions? Anyone would like to ask a question?
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm from Parimatch. I would like to ask you regarding pricing and individual pricing. You know the issues that e-commerce company faced in the United States, like Amazon, when they offer different prices in different states. Mm-hmm. What do you think about sportsbook prices, and can we face the same issue? And what do you think regulators does in this area?
Well, look, as far as I know, yes, there is a bit of Wild West time in the United States. And regulation there, state by state, is very different. The requirement state by state is very different. Taxation is very different. I see that as a very temporary thing. If I'm looking to the development, I think in 3, 4, 5 years in the United States, we probably have that on a federal level. Maybe not, but maybe I'm wrong. But I see that those markets are looking to each other. So what I see there is we have now 16 states which are allowing mobile and internet betting, and out of 24. So that means we have a lot of states which are still only for retail betting. And that's a development. And we're seeing that morphing and going more into a picture of saying, well, let's get the maximum out of this market from a tax reason. And therefore, let's offer all the channels. And that's the same how I see it then. If you offer all the channels, how can I help the operator to make a better business? Because if they are making a better business, I'm generating more tax. And the discussions I have are all pointing into this direction. We see at the moment some hiccups, but undoubtedly, we will see that the states more synchronizing their behavior, what they allow, what not, what is the regulation here, and individual pricing, without any doubt, will be part of this. So I'm pretty confident that we see currently a kind of Wild West checkout, state by state. Everybody is doing his own law. Everybody has his own intentions. So we have some tribes which are going this and that direction. At the end, it will be everybody needs to understand we must develop this marketplace. The bigger the market gets, the quicker it gets, the more profit everybody has. Taxation, the leagues, and the operators. That's my answer for it, so I'm pretty confident that this will stop.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Does anybody else have, let's see if we can squeeze in one more question, Carsten. Can we manage that?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Anybody else, another question?
Look, they are tired. They are very tired.
Yes, I think they've had a good night last night. Anybody else, a question for Carsten? In which case, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. They are tired.